Welcome back, students. Today we are going to a very interesting topic. The topic name is emulsions. Before defining what are emulsions, what are the different types and how we prepare, I'll try to explain you about the liquids, certain physical principles in the liquids. There are two types of liquids, oil and water. I can term it in other way, aqueous phase, aqueous phase and oily phase. They have certain properties like water is in polar, oil is a non-polar. Water is less viscous when compared to oil. Coming to densities of water and oil are completely different, and surface tension of these two liquids are different. When we have all these differences, polarity, viscosity, densities and surface tensions, we can't predict that these two liquids go together. In other words, that these two liquids doesn't miscibilize with each other. What I mean to say, as you know, the law of nature, oil and water are not miscible. Oil and water doesn't go together, but we have many essential oils. We have many important oils which are to be formulated, and we want them to go with the aqueous phase. So this formulation which has oil and water together is called as emulsion. So emulsion is a biphasic liquid dosage form. Here there are two phases, an oil phase and water phase. These two phases are brought together, are mixed together, or I can say miscibilized together using an emulsifying agent. It's a substance, emulsifying agent is a substance which brings these two, oil and water, together. So emulsion is a biphasic liquid dosage form where two immiscible liquids are miscibilized using emulsifying agent. So what are those two phases? As we discussed earlier, one is aqueous phase and one is oily phase. How they can be brought together when they have lot of such differences, like differences in polarity, differences in viscosity, differences in densities, differences in surface tension. How can we mix together? So in order to mix this oil and water, in order to make an emulsion, we need to overcome these problems, or we need to overcome these differences using an emulsifying agent. So in an emulsion, there will be two types, oil in water and water in oil. Before understanding the type of emulsions, we will try to understand what is dispersed phase and what is continuous phase. You can see an example over here. I have a sheet of paper on which you can see two columns. One is an oil in water emulsion, other one is water and oil emulsion. Forget about oil in water and water in oil. This is the sample of emulsion where these small globules of oil are dispersed in a water. So this is how emulsion appears. It means dispersed phase are the globules, minute globules of substances which are dispersed in a continuous phase. So dispersed phase, the liquid which is converted into minute globules, as you can see in this diagram, is a dispersed phase. This is the liquid which is converted into minute globules. And continuous phase is a liquid in which these globules are dispersed uniformly, and that is continuous phase. Basically, these globules ranges from size of 0.25 to 25 micrometers. And if the globule size is larger, then it's called as coarse emulsion. And if the globule size is below 5 microns, then it's called as fine emulsion. If this globule size goes below 10 nanometers, then it's called as micro emulsion. Basically, emulsions are white in color, or micro emulsions are white in color because of total internal reflection. Now, coming to type of emulsions, we have two types of emulsions, oil in water emulsion and water in oil emulsion. So you can see in this diagram, if oil globules are uniformly dispersed in continuous phase, that's water, then it is called as oil in water emulsion. You can see these black dots are globules of the oil. Oil are in dispersed phase, so they are in minute globule form and they are uniformly dispersed in water. So this emulsion will be termed as oil in water emulsion. The other type of emulsion is an water in oil emulsion, where you can see that water globules are uniformly dispersed in the oil. So oil is in continuous phase and water is in dispersed phase in oil in water emulsion. And in water in oil emulsion, oil is in dispersed phase and water will be in continuous phase. So whichever the phase which is as dispersed as a minute globules, it's considered as an internal phase. So this is about types of emulsions. Now we need to identify whether the emulsion is oil in water or water in oil. Before going to the types of identification, I need to bring your notice towards the natural emulsions. Milk. What is milk? Milk is a natural emulsion of fats and water. In milk, you have both phases, aqueous phase and oily phase. And in milk, these both are brought together by an emulsifying agent which is called as casein, which is also called as milk protein. Why milk is white in color? Again, milk is white in color because it's an emulsion. Milk is white in color because fat globules are uniformly dispersed in water. So due to total internal reflection, milk is white in color. Next, so you have an emulsion and you don't know whether it is oil in water emulsion or water in oil emulsion. So you need to identify what type of emulsion is. So you have 4 series of tests here. Number 1, dilution test. Number 2, dye test. Number 3, conductivity test. And number 4, fluorescent test. What's happening in dilution test? You will take an emulsion and you will dilute it with water. If your emulsion doesn't break, it means in continuous phase there is a water. Simple identification. Take the milk, dissolve it in water or dilute it in water. Will milk break? No. It means it is oil in water emulsion. So in the same way, take the emulsion, dilute it in oil. If the emulsion doesn't break, if the emulsion doesn't separate, then it is water in oil emulsion. So this is the simple technique to identify whether the emulsion is oil in water or water in oil. Next type of test is a dye test. So in this test, you will take, for example, scarlet red dye. So you will take dyes which are either water soluble or oil soluble, and you will dissolve in the emulsion. So you are taking oil soluble dye, you are dissolving it in the emulsion, taking a drop of emulsion and observe in the microscope. So if you can see the colored globules and colorless background, it means it is oil in water emulsion because your dye is soluble in oil. So oil phase is colored, so dispersed phase is color and water is not color. So this will be oil in water emulsion. Same vice versa. If the dye is water soluble, then complete your solution or continuous phase will be colored, and colorless dots or globules you can observe in the microscope. So this is dye test. Number 3, conductivity test. You know that water is conductor, and whenever you want to test whether the emulsion is oil in water or water in oil, simply take a couple of electrodes, insert them in the emulsion and connect a small bulb to it. If the bulb glows, it means electrons are being conducted in water. It means water is in continuous phase. So this is conductivity test. Simply insert 2 electrodes, connect a bulb to it. If the bulb is not glowing, then it means it's water in oil emulsion, because oil is an insulator and oil is not conducting electricity. Electrons are not passing through continuously. So it is water in oil emulsion. So simple technique to identify whether it is oil in water emulsion or water in oil emulsion. Number 4 is fluorescent test. There are certain oils which have fluorescent nature. So if you use such kind of oils in the emulsion, they will emit fluorescence in the presence of UV light. So take a drop of an emulsion, observe it under microscope in the presence of UV light. If you see that background is dark but the globules are glowing, it means it's oil in water emulsion. And in the opposite, if background is glowing and the globules are dark, then it will be oil in water in oil emulsion. So depending on fluorescent nature of the oil, you can identify whether it is oil in water or water in oil nature. Depending on conductivity of the water, depending on the glowing of the bulb, you can understand whether it is oil in water emulsion or water in oil emulsion. depending on the color by using dye test, and depending simple test is depending on dilution. You can understand whether your emulsion is oil in water or water in oil. So students, this is about definition of emulsions and type of emulsion. You need to understand one more thing about the emulsions. Emulsions are basically thermodynamically unstable. If you store them improperly, then these emulsions will break. It means the oil phase and water phase will get separated. So you need to be careful while preparing, careful while storing, and careful while using these emulsions. So dear students, next, as I said earlier, oil and water are immiscible. Oil and water doesn't go together. So you need a third thing which joins this oil and water, which is nothing but an emulsifying agent. So how does this emulsifying agent works? There are certain techniques. One, as I said, as we have seen in this diagram. So if you want these oil globules to be dispersed uniformly, then you need to protect their coalescence. You need to prevent them coming together and forming a big globule. So your emulsifying agent, what does it do? It simply form a protective layer. It forms a protective layer around the globule and prevent the coalescence of these two globules. And some other kind of emulsions will maintain the distance between these globules by maintaining the electric charge. So you have different theories of emulsification you will learn in higher classes. It may be oriented wedge theory, it may be electrokinetic theory, electric double layer theory, and many other theories which will explain you the stability of emulsion. In this stage, you need to understand the globules should be uniformly dispersed, and our emulsifying agent should prevent their coalescence and their coming together. So these emulsifying agents are different types. So what are the types of emulsifying agents? You can see on this chart, emulsifying agents are divided into 5 different types. Natural emulsifying agents, synthetic emulsifying agents, semi-synthetic emulsifying agent, inorganic emulsifying agents, and alcoholic emulsifying agents. So in natural emulsifying agents, you have two sources, plant source and animal source. In plant source, you have gum acacia as an example of an emulsifying agent, tragacanth as an example of emulsifying agent, pectin as an example of emulsifying agent, starch as an example of emulsifying agent, and agar as an example of emulsifying agent. All these examples which I mentioned right now are from plant origin. So this is a natural type of emulsifying agent. Next category, you can see animal origin, animal source of emulsifying agent. You have gelatin, you have wool's fat, and you have egg yolk as an example. Then after natural emulsifying agents, you have semi-synthetic emulsifying agents. In semi-synthetic emulsifying agents, you have cellulose derivatives. You have two best examples, methyl cellulose and sodium carboxymethyl cellulose. So these two are the examples of semi-synthetic emulsifying agents. Then you have synthetic type of emulsifying agents. In synthetic type of emulsifying agents, basically you have surfactants, those substances which will reduce the interfacial tension in order to miscibilize oil and water. You have the 3 types: cationic, anionic, and non-ionic type of emulsifying agents. So till now we have discussed about natural emulsifying agents, semi-synthetic emulsifying agents, synthetic emulsifying agents. In natural, we have plant source and animal source. In semi-synthetic, we have cellulose derivatives, methyl cellulose and sodium carboxymethyl cellulose. In synthetic, we have 3 types: inorganic, anionic, cationic, and non-ionic. Then you have inorganic source. In inorganic source, you have different examples. You can see a milk of magnesia is an example, magnesium oxide is an example, bentonite is an example, and magnesium aluminium silicate is an example of emulsifying agents. And at last, you have alcoholic type of emulsifying agents. In that example, cholesterol and carbowaxes are the examples of different emulsifying agents. So you can see over here, there are 5 different types of emulsifying agents: natural, semi-synthetic, synthetic, inorganic and alcoholic. In natural, you have plant source and animal source. In plant source, you have tagakant, agar, starch, pectin, etc. In animal source, you have examples of gelatin, wool's fat, egg yolk, etc. In semi-synthetic, you have cellulose derivatives, methyl cellulose and sodium carboxymethyl cellulose. In synthetic, you have three examples: anionic, cationic and non-ionic. In inorganic type, you have different types like milk of magnesia, magnesium hydroxide mixture, bentonite, magnesium aluminium silicate. And in an alcoholic type of emulsifying agents, you have carboxyls and cholesterols. So these are different types of emulsifying agents. Students, in coming classes, we will discuss about preparation methods of emulsifying agent, preparation methods of emulsions. So there are different methods, like you have dry gum method, you have wet gum method, you have bottle method, and you have other methods. In other methods, we use certain instruments like hand homogenizer, silver sum homogenizer, colloidal miller, etc. We'll see these things in coming classes. Then we will see quality control of emulsions, how to control the quality of emulsions. Then we will see stability problems of emulsion. Basically, there are three stability problems in emulsions: creaming, cracking, and phase separation. So there may be a cream forming on the emulsions because of fluctuations in temperatures or because of the storage issues, and there may be a cracking of an emulsion, or there may be a separation of phases, oil phase and water phase in the emulsion. So these three are the basic stability problems which emulsions face. So students, that's it for today's class. In coming classes, we'll discuss much more about dispersed systems, stability parameters of these dispersed systems. Then we'll discuss about suspensions and many more things. Just as a revision, emulsion is a biphasic liquid dosage form. Here there are two phases: oil phase and water phase. Basically, oil and water are not miscible. Oil and water doesn't go together. So in order to mix them both, in order to miscibilize them more, we need a third part, which is called as emulsifying agent. So the work of the emulsifying agent is bringing these two, oil and water, together. So these are biphasic liquid dosage forms which are miscibilized using an emulsifying agent. Coming to types, there are two types: oil in water emulsion, water in oil emulsion. To understand which type of emulsion it is, you need to understand what is dispersed phase and what is continuous phase. So as we discussed in this class, these oil globules which are dispersed as a minute, the phase which is dispersed as a minute globules is called as dispersed phase, and the phase which is continuous is called as continuous phase. So the white space is continuous phase, which is water in this example, and these black dots is the oil globules, which is in dispersed phase is an example. So two types: oil in water and water in oil. To identify what type of emulsion it is, you have different tests like dilution test, conductivity test, dye test, and fluorescence test. Depending on these tests, you can identify what type of emulsion you have. Then we discussed about emulsifying agents, different types of emulsifying agents. Thank you for watching this video. Do like the channel, subscribe and share with your friends.